These are two of the best cities in Metro Atlanta, but which one is better? Today we're comparing Johns Creek and Cumming, Georgia, two North Atlanta suburbs with top-tier schools, beautiful neighborhoods, and very different vibes. We're putting them head-to-head across 8 categories: population density, downtown, location, home prices, healthcare, schools, safety, and things to do. At the end, we're gonna tally up all of the points and crown a winner. Hey, my name's Joel. I'm a local realtor here in Metro Atlanta, and this is what I do. I make videos to help people like you know what it's like to live here in Metro Atlanta. And every day I help people just like you make a move in or to Georgia. Let's get into it. When we're talking about Johns Creek versus Cumming, the first thing we need to get clear is how these cities feel. Not just what the census says, but how much space do you actually get? How tight are the neighborhoods, and how on top of each other is it really? Johns Creek is one of the most residential cities in Metro Atlanta. There's way less commercial development, fewer big shopping centers or entertainment districts, and a lot more single-family neighborhoods. And those neighborhoods, they tend to come with larger lots, plenty of trees, and a lot of well-maintained homes. You've got privacy, room between houses, and in general, it just feels calmer. If you want that peaceful, quiet suburban feel, Johns Creek is gonna be a great option. Now, Cumming, Georgia, this one's a little bit more complicated. If you look strictly at the city limits, Cumming's population is under 10,000. It's super tiny, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. If you included everyone up there that has a Cumming address, you're talking about 85% of Forsyth County, which pushes the number closer to 230,000 people. But here's the cool part. How dense it feels totally depends on where you are. Near exit 13 or 14, very suburban, lots of shopping, higher density. But if you go towards exit 17, 18, 19, you've got space, trees, even farms. You can basically use Georgia 400 as a density slider. Go south, much more dense, more developed. Go north, much more open. So who gets the point? I'm giving it to Cumming, not just because of lower average density, but because of the options. You get to choose the lifestyle that fits you best. This one is actually a really interesting matchup because both cities started with basically nothing and then are going in two very different directions. Let's start with Cumming. For a long time, downtown Cumming was really kind of a joke. It's just municipal buildings, a few courthouses, and honestly, it felt like the kind of place that you only went if you were gonna have to pay a parking ticket or something. I remember being there for the first time and thinking, how does a city this big not have a real downtown? But things have changed. Cumming built an entire new downtown from scratch. It's called Cumming City Center, and it's just north of the old courthouse area, tucked right next to Forsyth Central High School. It's got restaurants, coffee shops, green space, live music events, and even a mini golf course. A lot of the dining is built in kind of the round around the main green space, so when there's a concert or a game on the big screen, you can sit on the patio and still be part of the action. It's the kind of place that instantly became the heart of the city, and it's still growing. They're adding a Hilton hotel, apartments, single-family homes, and even a new police headquarters in 2026. Johns Creek, on the other hand, this is where it struggles. It's a beautiful city, but it doesn't have any sort of downtown. No centralized walking area, no cluster of shops and events. It's just a bunch of great neighborhoods and schools. Now, they're currently working on the new town center project, so this will be a very different conversation soon. But right now, it's just a construction site. So if you're someone who loves grabbing dinner, walking around, or just being part of an active community space, it's going to feel like a miss here. Point is gonna go to Cumming, no contest. This one really depends on what you're looking for in terms of lifestyle and commute. Because Johns Creek and Cumming both have solid locations, but they serve two very different types of people. Johns Creek sits between Highway 400 and I-85, that northeast quadrant of the metro. It's about a 40-minute drive from downtown Atlanta, depending on the traffic, and it's surrounded by cities like Alpharetta, Duluth, Suwanee, Peachtree Corners. What's great about that is you're close to a ton of options. Even if Johns Creek doesn't have a major downtown or nightlife scene, you're only 15 minutes from Avalon and Alpharetta or the dining scene over in Duluth. So even though Johns Creek itself is quiet, you're not isolated. You've got access without having to, live in the middle of it. Now, Cumming is further up Georgia 400. Technically, it's about 10 to 15 minutes north of Alpharetta, but depending on where you are in Cumming, it can feel a lot further out. If you're near exit 13 or 14, you're close to all the action. Easy access to Halcyon, Avalon, North Point Mall. You're right in the mix. But further north you go, especially past exit 16, 17, and the more remote it starts to feel. You're trading easy access for more space, more land, and a slower pace of life. So how do you choose? If your job is remote and you don't mind being 45 plus minutes from Atlanta, Cumming offers a lot of lifestyle perks. But if you're commuting or you want quicker access to more of the metro, Johns Creek is going to be better positioned. Point goes to Johns Creek here, more central, more connected, and more flexible for the average homeowner. Now, when it comes to home prices, we're not just talking about what you're going to spend. We're talking about what you get for it, and that's the key. Value. Let's start with Johns Creek. It's no surprise that this is the one of the pricier cities in the metro. The median home price is just under $750,000 right now, and it's not uncommon to see homes go well over $1 million, especially if you're looking in the gated communities or the golf course neighborhoods. But here's the thing, it's expensive for a reason. Johns Creek has been named the #1 place to live in America by multiple national sources for multiple years. And it's not just a headline. The schools are top tier, the neighborhoods are stunning, the crime rate is low, and the city is incredibly well maintained. So yeah, you're paying a premium, but you're getting the full package here. Now let's talk about Cumming. This city just ranked #1 in our own Metro Atlanta City Rankings video. Go check that out on our page. The average home price is closer to $600,000, and if you're willing to go a bit farther north, you can still find new construction in the 400s. And I'm not talking about townhomes. I'm talking 4 to 5 bedroom homes on maybe a bigger lot with community amenities. There's a ton of development still happening up here, especially off exit 17 and up, which means you've got modern layouts, newer schools. So what's the better value? If budget is less of an issue and you want the prestige of living in one of the most desirable cities in the entire country, Johns Creek is absolutely worth the price. But if you're looking to stretch your dollar a bit, get more space, a newer home, and still be in a top-ranked city, Cumming is the clear value winner. Point is gonna go to Cumming just for being more approachable to more buyers. Let's take a quick pause to say, if you're thinking about making a move to either one of these cities, there's a menu of ways that you can take your next step. You can reach out to me directly at the contact info on the screen, or you can fill out our Connect form and we'll reach out to you at a time that's convenient. Or just grab our free relocation guide if you're still in that early research phase. Of course, if you're not ready for any of that, just keep watching. We've got a lot to cover yet. When you're picking a place to live long-term, especially you've got a family, aging parents, or you just like knowing you're close to top-tier care, healthcare access is going to be a big deal. Now, fortunately, both Johns Creek and Cumming are solid options here. Johns Creek is home to Emory Johns Creek Hospital, which is part of the Emory Healthcare Network, one of the most respected names in the entire Southeast. This facility is well regarded for surgical care, stroke treatment, maternity services, and because Johns Creek is right next to Duluth and Alpharetta, you're also within a short drive to even more specialists, private practices, and urgent care options. If you're someone who wants the best of the best and quick access to it, Johns Creek is pretty stacked when it comes to medical care. Now let's talk about Cumming. The main hub here is Northside Hospital for Psych. Over the last decade, it has exploded in size and reputation. It's a full-service hospital that includes everything from emergency care and surgery to women's services and cancer treatment. Northside is known for investing heavily in their facilities and technology, and the Forsyth campus is no exception here. Plus, as Forsyth County continues to grow, so does the healthcare infrastructure around it. More specialists, more clinics, and options opening every single year. Here's the real bottom line: you're in great hands in either city. Whether you go north to Cumming or stay closer to the Emory network in Johns Creek, you're definitely covered here. The difference really comes down to preference and proximity. This one's close enough that I think I'm gonna call it a tie, half point each. If you've got kids or you're planning to have kids, this might be the most important category for you. The differences in how they operate and feel might help you decide which one is a better fit. For Johns Creek, it's part of the Fulton County School District, and more specifically, the northern tip of that county, which is where all of the highest rated schools are clustered. We're talking about schools like Johns Creek High and Northview High School, which are consistently ranked in the top 10 to 15 in the entire state. On Niche.com, they both score an A+ rating, and Great School is going to give them a 9 or a 10 across the board. The academic culture here is strong. Some would say maybe intense. There's a big focus on college prep, AP classes, test scores, and academic performance. So if that's what you're looking for, it's one of the best environments in the state. Now, Cumming is part of the Forsyth County School District, which are arguably just as good, and depending on who you ask, maybe even better. Forsyth is one of the fastest growing counties in the state, and their school system has been keeping up by building brand new state-of-the-art campuses. The high schools in Cumming, like South Forsyth High, Denmark High, West Forsyth, these are fantastic. These schools have amazing facilities, career pathway programs, and great academic ratings. Plus, the schools further north offer a little bit more breathing room and maybe less competitive vibe compared to Johns Creek. So here's how I break it down. Johns Creek wins if you want prestige and academic intensity, but Cumming wins for families looking for flexibility, newer schools, and strong performance without maybe the pressure cooker environment. That said, for this one, I gotta give the point to Johns Creek. They've been setting the bar for years, and if you're chasing top academic performance, you just can't beat it. Safety is one of those categories where people are often willing to pay a premium, and in the case of Johns Creek and Cumming, that might just be what's happening here. These are two of the safest cities, not just in Metro Atlanta, but in the entire state of Georgia. Let's start with Johns Creek, which consistently ranks at the very top of safest cities in Georgia lists year after year. And that's not just my perception, we're talking about third-party data driven. Safewise.com will place Johns Creek as the number 5 safest city in Georgia in 2025. And Neighborhood Scout says, compared to communities within Georgia, Johns Creek crime rate is lower than nearly 65% of the state's cities and towns. It is for these reasons that Johns Creek is ranked as one of the top 100 safest cities in the USA. Now, Cumming is also a great option here, especially compared to the national average. Neighborhood Scout says, if you live in Cumming, your chance of becoming a victim of crime in the community is 1 in 206. The US average across communities from the largest to the smallest is 1 in 44. That's 5 times safer than the American average. So, what's the difference? Johns Creek has the data and the national recognition to back it up. Cumming feels just as safe in most areas, but it doesn't always get the headlines. I think point goes to Johns Creek just for having not only state recognition, but national recognition as well. All right, last category, and this one's important if you want to ever leave the house. Let's start with Cumming, Georgia. For a long time, people used to say that there was just nothing to do here, but that's changed a lot recently. The Cumming City Center is now a full-blown event hub with outdoor concerts, festivals, food trucks, and a stage surrounded by restaurants and patios. Add to that Lake Lanier, just 20 minutes away, with boating and marinas, plus easy access to hiking and mountain getaways just a bit north. And you've got one of the best outdoor lifestyle packages in the entire metro. Now, for Johns Creek, this is where it really starts to fall behind. The city is beautiful, the neighborhoods are peaceful, and the schools are great. But when it comes to actual things to do within the city limits, it's totally a miss. There's no downtown, no event space, space, no real nightlife. They're working on the new town center, but as of now, it's still in the development stages. What you do get is proximity to things to do, like in Alpharetta, Suwanee, Duluth. So you're not stuck, you just have to drive a little bit. Bottom line, if you want your city to be the destination, Cumming is a better option. If you're okay with driving to the fun, Johns Creek still works, but points gonna go to Cumming here. And the winner is Cumming, Georgia, 4.5 to 3.5. Here's how I would break it down. If you want top-rated schools, great neighborhoods, and a city that is consistently ranked among the best in the entire country, Johns Creek is still one of the gold standards around Atlanta. But if you want more variety of options, more value, Cumming is gonna be the better move. If you've got more questions or you just need help figuring out your next move, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out to me at the contact info on the screen right now, or you can take 30 seconds to fill out our Connect form, and we will be happy to reach out to you. If you're looking for even more resources, check out our free relocation guide that you can download and read through whenever it's convenient. Or if you're just in research mode, stick around, check out some more videos. I'll see you in the next one.